Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. I'm back. That was quick. I'm back like I never left. So, but the live that I did before this was very impromptu. But this is a planned live, and we are really going to get into it today. Um, we're gonna be talking about Liv. Now, Liv, I told you this is a case study, Liv. So now Liv done two lives. Liv has done two lives, right? Now that first one, uh, of the two recent, I think Liv was talking about how she getting ready to be a tarot reader and things like that. I just feel like Liv is throwing stuff. It's like spaghetti, throwing spaghetti to the wall and trying to see what's going to stick because I don't know, maybe she's losing the audience. I have no idea. But before we get into the topic today, just want everyone to know that this live is strictly based on my opinion and for entertainment and teaching purposes only. I'm strictly commenting, giving my opinion on the live that I seen or that I have seen, and everything is a legend unless it is not. So just want to make sure I get that out there. I am a licensed therapist, but I am not your therapist, and I'm definitely not Liv's therapist. But if you need one, I will leave a description. Leave a link in the description box, so you can get a little bit of coin off of virtual therapy. It's definitely easy to do, easy to start. You can pick whatever therapist you want. You can change therapists. You can go to therapy at any time. You can text, go by phone, be live face to face, virtually with the therapist. So make sure you all check into that if you need to for yourself or someone else. So now let's go ahead and get into it. Now, this last live that I saw of Liv's, I really wanted to talk about this because this, I think, not only applies to Liv, but this just applies to women in general, right? And I had to learn some of these things as well. Now, Liv said that, and let me just say this again, this is my opinion. But on the live where Liv was eating, she was eating whatever she cooked. She had some beans, some rice, and something else, child. And it looked like, to me, it looked like a scene of girl, like the not even the Golden Girls, because the Golden Girls, they used to have fun and laugh and giggle or whatever. It seems so quiet in their house. It's like it was boring. Like, I don't know. It's just the aesthetic was like a sad aesthetic to me, or like it was giving I don't have anything to do. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It looked really sad to me. But anywho, so in that particular live though, she said she was talking about a lot of stuff, but then she got into talking about relationships again. And she said that her mother asked her one day, what was the issue in her last relationship. Now, I don't know if the mom was asking about Gerard or if she was asking about a relationship after that. I don't know if the mom meant to ask her about relationships in general, like in your past relationships as a whole, like what was the issue or what do you feel like was the issue, right? But I think that's a great question for her. What does she think the issue was? And so Liv came back and she said that the issue was that in the last relationship was that she was the leader. She was the one leading the relationship, right? And so she said that she is praying or prayed to God for a man to come to her that will lead the home, right? Because she said, Olivia was saying, she understands that she's not supposed, or she knows that she's, or feels, right, that she's not supposed to be leading the home. And she feels like she was the one holding the man up emotionally, financially, whatever it was, she was the one leading, right? So I said, you know what, Liv, that is a great topic. That is definitely a great topic because, I think women, we have this idea, and I'm included, right, child, because I'm a woman, right? So we have this idea of again, the fantasy of what the household should look like, right? And first of all, I think about, well, who gave us that picture? Right? Where did this picture come from? Did the fantasy picture come from your own family from when you grew up? Did it come from Child the Cosby Show? And we all know what happened with that. Did it come from your friend's family, that you saw growing up? Did it come from you know anything on TV or whatever? Did it come from a picture of a, because I'm speaking to my people, right? Did it come from a picture of a white family of what you thought the family was supposed to be, right? So where did that picture come from, that the man is supposed to lead the home? Like, where do you get that from? Is it like an unwritten thing that we know of? Or do we have evidence that if a man leads the home, it results in A, B, C, and D? Right. So that would be my one of my questions to her. Like, where does that come from? Where do you get the idea that the man should lead the home? Right. Now, um, now also an extension of that question is, what does a man leading the home look like? And I think this is a very, very important question, because what she was saying was, I was the one holding him up. I was the one holding him up emotionally, financially. I felt like I was, leading the home and doing everything right. Well, when you understand or get the idea of what it should look like, then you can kind of delve into that a little bit more. Now, I think, in my opinion, what it looks like to Olivia is the man doing everything, right? Paying the bills, working, um, taking care of the kids 50% of the time, or, and then her taking care of the kids 50% of the time, uh, doing things around the house, such as fixing stuff, putting things together, because she had already told us she didn't ever even think that she could put a bed together. Or never saw herself having to put a bed together, right? So I guess that's part of the man's job too. And these are only my assumptions, because again, the question goes out to her. What does it look like? I don't know what she thinks it looks like, but I'm just assuming based on the information that she told us of what she thinks it probably looks like. Okay, so let's move on. So again, financially, he's going out, going to work, making the bacon, right? He bringing home the bacon, right? He fixing stuff in the house. He is assisting her with whatever she needs to be assisted with, whether that's financially, emotionally, right? Because as women, we have upkeep too, right? We have to get our nails done, we got to get our toes done. We got to make sure we are looking right and things like that for the man, the husband, or whatever. So he has to take care of that as well. So then, okay, so is that what it looks like, Liv? Right? That of him leading the home. So I would really be curious about what that looks like, right? Because I think some of it is a fantasy, right? That I want the man to do all of this and I shouldn't have to do anything. But I think that's a misconception, right? Now, the question now becomes, uh, what should you be doing, right? Now, we're going to get into it. This is even before you obtain this person, right? Or that or that you get married or whatever, right? Now, she said again that she never thought she could put a bed together or would have to be putting a bed together. So then I would ask, did your behavior in your marriage or this previous relationship put you in a position to where you had to put a bed together? Right? Because Liv says, oh, I shouldn't be the one leading the man. I know the man should be the leader. Okay, but now the question is, you want a leader, but do you want to be led? And I think a lot of people have to ask themselves that question. A lot of women have to ask themselves that question because it's all good until you got to be led. And sometimes being led ain't fun. Sometimes being led is doing things that you really don't want to do. Sometimes being led is putting your faith into something that you might feel like that it might not work, but you got to put your faith into it because you're being led, right? And but you also understand and you trust this person and have faith enough in this person that made that decision to say, well, if it fall through, I already know the type of person that I have is not going to leave me destitute. We're not going to be down on the ground. We're not going to be homeless. We ain't go, we always going to have something to eat or whatever. Now, it may not be, what we want all the time, but we're going to be good, right? Because you didn't put your faith in this person to make those decisions and you did not step in because guess what? You are being led. Now, my question to Olivia would be, and a whole lot of other women, to be frank, are you ready for that? So then the question goes back to, are you really ready to be led? Do you really want a man to lead the home? A lot of people say, oh yeah, I want somebody to lead the home. And the only thing they talking about is for them to be paying the bills and for them to not be doing anything. Now, I don't know if y'all, and let me know in the chat, have y'all ever heard of this book called, and I'm sure y'all have, called Fascinating Womanhood? Let me know in the chat. Y'all, I got my coffee this morning. Y'all, tangent. Okay. I went to my local Publix, child, and they had Ray Dunn. They got like a little display of Ray Dunn. If y'all know Ray Dunn, then y'all know what I'm talking about. Ray Dunn are those little ceramic, it's like ceramic cups, ceramic little plates, very dainty. I love it. Very dainty plates, little saucers and coffee mugs and things like that. And it's just very dainty and classic. And on the front, it just says coffee. It just says coffee, but they had some other ones too, y'all. They had one that said latte. I think it's just so cute. So I have the one that says coffee, but so I'm drinking my coffee out of that mug today. But let me know if y'all have ever heard of Fascinating Womanhood. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Now, this particular book, y'all, is very interesting. And to be honest, now I'm not going to say that I was a Kevin Samuels aficionado. I did not listen to him all the time. Here, I didn't even agree with a whole bunch of stuff that this man said. But when you listen to what he is saying, I feel like some of the ideas that he had came from this book. About what women should be doing. Because I said, when I read the book, I said, now, wait a minute. Now, wasn't Kevin talking about this? Kevin was talking about this too. I said, now, did Kevin get this stuff from this book? He may have, child, and who knows, but moving on. So, Fascinating Womanhood. Now, this book, it's been a lot of publishings of this book, but it was originally like a series of booklets. It was a series of booklets that came out in like the 20s, right? And these booklets were for written for single women, right? But nobody even knows who the authors were of that book. Now, when you think about the 20s, you could imagine that maybe these booklets weren't, probably written for Black women or whatever, right? This is probably for, single white women looking for husbands and things like that. And once they got a husband, trying to figure out how to, keep them and keep up the household and things of that nature, right? So these booklets were originally written in the 20s, right? But there's been several publishings after that. But the book is written by Helen B. Andelin. Andelin, Andelin. So in this book, it talks about, being a fascinating woman. Now, before you get kind of asked the question of, okay, well, what is a, you know, it's kind of like, what is the ideal woman, from a man's point of view, those types of things. This is what the book kind of gets into, right? And so it kind of lays the foundation of what a woman kind of needs to have before getting to that point, or even thinking about being an ideal woman. What does that look like? Right. So first it kind of goes into looking at a woman, you looking at yourself in two ways. The first way is it in an angelic way, and the second way is in a human way. Now, keep in mind, this book is indicating how men are looking at this, right? From a man's perspective, right? So we're going to take Olivia's statement of wanting a man to lead the household and relate it to some of the things, just a few things in this book, because the book is long, child, and I'm not getting ready to do all that. Now, I could probably turn this into a series. So initially, it talks about, of course, every woman wants to have tenderness, wants to be loved, wants devotion and things like that. But there are some things that you need to do to be able to get that from a man, right? And there are some qualities that you need to have in order for a man to fulfill that for you, right? And then, third of all, you need to be able to understand men, right? What they are looking for, what they value, things like that, right? So I thought it'd be best if we look at what these angelic qualities would be. And we're going to ask, Olivia, do you have these qualities? So let's see. Hold on, let me get to this. Have y'all heard of this book before? Hold on. Well, let me see. Have y'all heard of this? I thought this book was so interesting. Hold on. Oh, here it go. Okay, hold on. Okay, so first it talks about, now remember, this is gauged for the 20s, but let's, we're going to bring it full circle to current day, right? So the first thing it talks about is the feminine appearance. Now, everybody has something to work on. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's saying that, right? But Olivia, if you want the type of man that's going to lead a home in the way that it should be led, I would want to know from you, do you feel like you appear feminine? And when I say that, I'm meaning that the first thing, and this is no tea or no shade, this is just my opinion or whatever. The first thing that people see when they look at you is a whole bunch of tattoos. Now, my question to you would be, is that feminine? Now, it may be in your eyes. It might be in your eyes, right? But if you are looking for a man that's the type of man that you say you looking for, I'm not really sure if they would find that to be feminine. Girl, you got tattoos all on the top of your eyelid, you're on top of your eyebrow. You got tattoos on the face, tattoos on the forearm, tattoos by your elbow, tattoos on your, I mean, it's just everywhere. Like, do you really need that many tattoos? Like, and for what? I don't get it, right? But it talks about the feminine appearance, right? So now this is interesting, y'all, because remember it's written in the 20s, so y'all can imagine some of the things that it says. So it says that the first thing it talks about, it says, to acquire a feminine appearance, accentuate the differences between yourself and men. Wear only those materials and styles that are the least suggestive of men's and that make the greatest contrast to their apparel. Men never wear anything fluffy. lacy, or gauzy. Use such materials, therefore, whenever you can. Men seldom pay much attention to the latest style, so keep up your interest in current fashions. Right? So Olivia, I know you mentioned you came to the girls. Now, Olivia, have you been reading Fascinating Womanhood? Because you came to the girls the other day and you said you need a stylist. I remembered you said that. You said you need a stylist, and you said you're gonna let the person pick out everything that you need on one of the sites. And then you mentioned that you like Lane Bryant. You know, Lane Bryant is a very for plus size women. Lane Bryant is a very one of the stores that are a little bit more sophisticated when it comes to their clothing for plus size women. You know, they sell more of the slacks, more of the white button downs, you know, for a very professional look, right? That's where you a plus size woman could probably find some professional attire, rather than, say, for instance, if you go to maybe one of the other popular ones, might be like Torrid, right? They sell a little bit more trendy, because I think Torrid was bought by what was that store, y'all? Hot Topic. Y'all remember that Hot Topic store? They used to sell all these kind of like gothic type of pieces, things like that, you know, the graphic shirts. I think that Torrid was bought out by them or something like that. um and so they sell kind of those types of things. The graphic shirts is more trendy. They have the jean shorts, you know, things like that. But you said you like Lane Bryant, right? So, you know, are you looking to kind of be in a more of a professional type attire, Olivia? If so, where are you going? Where are you going with the professional attire? You know, I don't know. Maybe Olivia has some sponsorships that she has to, you know, meet the people in person, things like that. You know, I don't know. But Lane Bryant gives that kind of feel, right? So yes, Olivia, tell me if you've been reading Fascinating Womanhood, girl. Okay, so then it says, in developing a feminine appearance, observe the following rules. Now, these are rules, Olivia. So when you talk about rules, you say you want a man that leads, you're going to have to follow some rules when someone leads you, right? You know, it's all fine and good, again, until you being led. You say you want a leader, but do you really want to be led? Because a lot of women, the first instance that they don't like something, they jump into the lead role. Or the first instance that, oh, nah, you think that it's not going to go the way it needs to go, the way that you want it to go, you're going to step into the lead role. You can't do that. If you want them to lead, you're going to have to let them lead. Right? Okay. So these are the rules, Olivia. Now, it appears to me that you may be the type of person, or have the type of personality that doesn't really like to follow the rules. So this might be difficult for you. It might be difficult, but it's something that you can work on, right? So the first rule is fabric weave. Now, remember, think about current day, y'all, because this is old. This is real old school. Now, and let me go back about these tattoos. Having tattoos is not, I don't think, an issue, right? But it's the you know, it's an exorbitant amount of tattoos. Like, they literally almost covering your whole body. You know what I'm saying? Like your arms, your neck, your face. I mean, it's just a lot, you know, and that's just my opinion. Okay. Fabric weave. Avoid such fabrics as tweeds, herringbones, hard finished woolens, denims, glen plaids, pinstripes, or any fabrics commonly used by men. They can be used, however, if distinguished by an ultra feminine style, color, or trim. Otherwise, they give no help in making him realize how womanly you are. They cannot strive to bring out any contrast between your nature and his. Y'all hear that? Now, this is what it says. These are the rules again, Olivia. This is what it says you should wear, right? Soft, crisp cotton, soft or fine wool, linens, silk, anything silky, anything soft or womanly, right? The extremes of feminine fabrics are chiffon, lace, velvet, satin, angora, and organdy, right? Try to include some of these in your wardrobe. So, Olivia, when you because you said you looking for a man that's gonna lead, right? Okay, so when you reach out to your stylist, whoever your stylist is, let them know to include some of this in there, that lace, some, maybe a little bit of lace, you know what I'm saying? And remember, you are plus size, so you gotta be a little bit careful with some of it too. You don't want it to be too raunchy. You just want to, how they say, don't show too much, just show a little bit. So make sure that they include some of those womanly soft fabrics as well, right? Now, again, try to include some of these in your wardrobe. Wear them when trying to appear the most feminine. So then I'm curious, Olivia, when you had went out on that went out for your night on the town, when you had that wild night, what fabric did you have on? What fabric were you wearing? Was it soft cotton? You know, was it soft cotton? I don't know. Now, second rule is fabric color. Colors that are feminine are pastels, soft colors, clear colors, rich colors, and even black. Well, we all know black is classic, of course. Black is beautiful, honey. And it's a very classic. It's classy when you show up in black. Like me, like say for example, I tell people when they go to interviews now, in Florida, it's so hot. People they stray away from when they're going to interviews wearing like suits and stuff. You might see women with like shoot, I've seen some women, honey, they done had on some khakis and a little print button down shirt. I'm classic. I'm going to have on a some type of blazer, and it usually it might be black, honey. It could be 115 degrees. I'm gonna have that blazer on. That's just how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have that blazer on, and you're going to have a little camisole on under it, you know what I'm saying, that complements the blazer. Or you might have on a suit jacket, a black suit with, and a lot of these things too. A lot of these things, I think, especially for Black women, we learn these things in college. I know I did. I went to a historically Black university, and a lot. I learned a whole bunch of stuff from my mom as far as how to dress when you go somewhere, how to present yourself and things like that. Because my mom was like that. When she would go to work, baby, she would be dressed to the nines, right? Not a hair out of place, okay? And so, but when I got to college, it just kind of put the cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? Of how you should be presenting yourself, and things like that. But anywho, back to this. So okay, so black. Avoid drab colors used by men, such as browns, grays, and khaki. They may be used, however, if of a soft fabric, feminine style, or trim. Okay, now it goes on into talking about the third rule of fabric design. In selecting a print, take care that it is a good design. Avoid anything that is loud, gaudy, or lacking in good taste. The print should not dominate the woman. The design of the fabric should suggest softness, modesty, and womanliness, right? And then the last one, oh, not the last one, number 4, style. Avoid tailored styles or any suggestion of masculinity, such as pants, mannish jackets and coats, button cuffs and top stitching, those things like that. Now, um, it goes into a whole bunch of rules, Olivia, that I'm not going to go into, but I encourage you to kind of look into that. And the basis of it is make sure that you are presenting yourself in a soft, womanly way, right? And I think you have one strike, in my opinion, against you because you have all of these tattoos around you, on your person. You have all of these tattoos, and a lot of a lot of a lot of the men that you're looking for, they may not be into that. Now some of them they might be, but I don't know. Because I'm not a relationship guru or a matchmaker or anything like that. It's just common sense that is too much. um Now, also, and like I said, a lot of this is for Olivia, but it could be in general too, honey, because it also talks about your grooming and makeup, right? Now, let's get into that a little bit. Now, I know that all of us, honey, we like our lashes, we like our hair, and all of that. But I'm gonna tell you something, men, they don't care nothing about them lashes. Them lashes that's from your computer to your window, they don't care nothing about that. Them lashes is from the window to the wall, they don't care nothing about that. Child, I remember one time I had got some lashes put on, and I promise y'all, I don't know what kind of glue they use, baby, but them lashes was on me so tight. They was on there so tight, like I thought they would never come off. Girl, it didn't matter if I put water, if I whatever I used to try to get them off, them things would not come off. I said, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to the emergency room because I can't get these lashes off. I can't get these lashes off." I mean, them suckers was on. And when they finally came off, my lashes came off with them. I said, "Never again. This is ridiculous. This is just crazy to be wearing something on your eye that's that's literally stuck. Can y'all imagine? I mean, it was stuck. And I said, I can't do this. Who am I fooling, child? And mind you, my husband, he don't give a crap about them dang on things. Anyway, honey, my husband, he'll look at me and say, "What is that on your eye?" And see, some of us, we get in our feelings and we'll be like, whatever, whatever. And you go ahead and do what you want to do. But when you think about it, it's true. What is that on your eye? And now some lashes, when they look very natural, you know what I'm saying? But it's some of them, the majority of the ones that I see, baby, they from the window to the wall. And I'm just like, why do they have to be so like long and so full? Like everybody know those are not your lashes. I don't know, child. So anywho, back to this. So it says now it says, hairstyles are important. Now, I never really seen Olivia with her hair fixed up or anything like that. But it says careful attention to makeup and hairstyles is feminine, accentuates your natural endowments, and makes you more fascinating. Your husband may or may not notice it or may fail to comment, but if you neglect your appearance, he will notice it. So that bun you wearing every day, cause see, you don't know where you're gonna find your man at, Olivia. You know what I'm saying? Or not, no, the one that you really want, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to put yourself in different places, but you can't everywhere you go, you can't be wearing that bun. Right? You can't be wearing that bun. You got to make sure you moisturize, make sure you get your heels, right? Don't be wearing the flip flops everywhere, things like that. And please, definitely don't put on no leggings. I'm so sick of seeing them leggings. Don't put those leggings on. Now, this is only if you're trying to find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it go. It may not be right, but it's just how it go. You got to present yourself well, right? So if you neglect yourself, they're going to comment, right? Right? He wants you to look pretty. Does he want you to look pretty to all men? Yes. Unless a man is terribly jealous or overly possessive, he wants his wife to look pretty to everyone. Y'all heard it? Y'all heard it? Now, some of this stuff is over, baby. Some of this stuff applies. Okay? It applies. It applies, right? Number 9, modesty. Still, another part of the feminine appearance is modesty. In spite of the worldly emphasis on low cut, scanty clothes, decent men. Y'all heard that? Decent men, Olivia, a decent man does not respect a woman who exposes too much of her bodies in the public, right? So again, when you're talking to the stylist, let them know, you might want to show a little bit, but you don't. So say for example, if you showing a little bit of boob, make sure you don't show no booty, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? If you're showing a little bit of leg or the skirt might not be, might be up a little bit, make sure you cover up a little bit at the top. You see what I'm saying? Right? Not only should the body be modestly covered, but the underwear as well. Men dislike visible slips, bra straps, or exposed underwear. So sometimes, Olivia, you know how sometimes you might be wearing a camisole, right? When you talk to your stylist, you make sure when they, especially, or you can go to Lane Bryant for this, go to Lane Bryant and get your bras because it look like you got a lot to work with, right? Go to Lane Bryant, get your bras and include in there a strapless bra. So you can wear your strapless bra when you wear your camisoles and stuff like that because those little spaghetti straps, you don't want under that spaghetti strap to be that thick strap of the bra. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to expose that. That's what this lady's saying. Um, right? Let's see. Okay, so that talks about modesty. Now, I'm gonna read one more thing, and then I gotta get out of here. So it says, now, what does the feminine appearance do? What does it do? Right? If you have a feminine appearance, like why? Like what is it gonna do? Right? When you dress in feminine clothes and are well groomed, it increases your feeling of self-esteem. And Olivia, you've been looking down lately. I've seen you. Your affect looks very sad. You even when you were eating your food, Olivia, and don't get me wrong, I ain't looking at the girl like that, but I mean you can see it on the camera. When she's eating her food, it's kind of like, have y'all ever been eating, but you're not really hungry? Like you're not really hungry, but you just eating. I'm sure all of us have been in that space before. That's what it looked like to me. That she was just eating the food and she wasn't even hungry. It was just like something to do because she don't have anything else to do. Right? Now, so it says it increases your feeling of self-esteem. You feel better about yourself. You are encouraged to act more feminine in the way you walk, move, move your hands, sit, and conduct yourself. The outer appearance encourages the feminine manner. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? This is one thing that a lot of people miss about working in an office. It's all fine and good to work at home and, remote and things like that, right? But a lot of people miss going into an office because what? It encourages you to get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? It encourages you to get yourself together. Maybe the night before, you're going to put out what slacks you're going to wear, what button down shirts you're going to put on. You make sure that it's no wrinkles and things like that. You're going to even pick out the shoes that go with your outfit. You might pick out a ring or two to put on, what watch you're going to wear for the day, your bracelet, maybe a little necklace, what earrings. And then you're going to say, okay, well, how am I going to wear my hair, right? It encourages you, right, to be a little bit more feminine. Now, don't put if you put on some heels or some wedges and things like that, right, you're going to even walk in a feminine way. But if you got on flip-flops every day, uh-uh, it's not doing it, right? A feminine appearance brings out a favorable response in a man. As you acquire a more feminine appearance, he will notice you more, find you more appealing, and respect you more, as suggested in the following Stories. Now, throughout this book, this lady gives these stories, about these women and their husbands that were in relationships. And she tells these stories about, what the challenge was in their relationship and how the woman used these principles that she gave her to kind of overcome those challenges, right? So I think, Olivia, this will be a very good read for you if you are ready to kind of hone into the idea of what you talked about, having a man lead you. It really will give you a little bit of an idea of what you may think you might want. And how you can prepare yourself. Like I said, I feel like you got one strike against you because you have all of those tattoos, but you can make it work. It's somebody for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You might meet a man that leads very well and he got a whole bunch of tattoos too. So you just never know. But you're going to have to present yourself in a feminine way. And so again, my question to you is, when you talked about that bed, you kind of kept going back to you having to put that bed together. Really think about what behavior you had in whatever relationship you were talking about put you in a position to where you were having to put beds together by yourself, and like you said, from scratch. So I think I'm going to actually turn this into a series. I'm gonna turn this into a series. And I'm going to talk about some of the things that I drew out from this book and apply it to different situations. So, Olivia, this is your assignment. Okay, I want you to ask yourself that question, and then also the lady is giving you an assignment. Miss Helen said, make or buy a feminine house dress and apron. Right? You're going to add feminine touches to it, right? Make sure, she said groom your hair, but I'm just gonna bring it to common terms, right? Comb your hair, Olivia, in a feminine style. Instead of the bun at the top, maybe you have, because to me, I love buns at the top, honey. Buns at the top is like you have your little bun at the top, you got your little shirt on with your little shoulder out. You might have on a jean or something like that, and you might be going to run errands and things like that. But really feminine, maybe instead of a top bun, Olivia, you put yourself a low bun. Maybe put a cute little low bun. A cute little low bun, right? So fix your hair in a feminine style. Put you on some makeup. I know you know how to do that makeup. Put you on some makeup, but don't, like the lady said, Miss Helen said, don't, make sure it's not loud or gaudy. It's not too much. You don't want too much. You want a very very subtle, like a what do they call it on the YouTube streets? Um uh no makeup look, that type of thing. No makeup look. There's plenty of tutorials out there, right? But I know you know how to do it, Olivia. Okay. And then it says, watch. When you go somewhere, watch the reactions that you get from men. Don't say nothing, Olivia, because Olivia seems to me sometimes it might be giving hot in the pants. You know what I'm saying? And so if you feel like they feeling what you got going on, baby, you ready to run over there and give them a number. That's leading. You don't want to do that. You want them to lead, remember? So don't run over there trying to give them the number or say anything to them. You minding your own business, doing whatever you got to do, right? But just be mindful of how they are responding to your femininity at this point, right? And let me know what you find. All right, so y'all got to get up out of here. I enjoyed this. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.